Hi everyone, welcome. This is just a really quick introduction to the Hollywood musical module. So for anyone that hasn't met me before, I am Dr. Hannah Robbins. I am relatively new to the music department, so I joined in September 2019. I am an expert on the Hollywood and Broadway musical. I primarily focus on musicals after the Second World War, sort of thinking the late 1940s into the early 50s, but I recently published pieces on Frozen and on Hamilton, so I kind of work on anything to do with musicals in general. This module is going to look at sort of the range of musicals that have come out of Hollywood, and I think that's a really important point to emphasize, is that the teaching content is going to focus on musicals coming out of America rather than anywhere else in the world. However, for your coursework, if you're interested in bringing a musical that was made, a film musical specifically, that was made anywhere else in the world, that is absolutely fine. I'm really excited to see content from Bollywood or from Nollywood, so that's the Nigerian version, or there's a number of film musicals that have come out of South Africa or France. It doesn't need to be English language either, so that's entirely up to you. But for the core course content, we're going to be thinking about musicals generated in America. So as you can tell, I'm sat in my spare room and you're probably at home watching this. The teaching format is going to be a little bit different this year. So I just wanted to talk you through that a little bit and how the online teaching space is going to work so that you know what you're getting into right from the beginning. So we're going to have 4 teaching formats. One, we're going to, oh, hello, been drawing. One, we are going to have lecture content. So that will be done asynchronously. So you can watch that in your own time. As you'll see when you look at Moodle, each week will come up the Friday before the week. So if you are looking for content for week 3, that will go live on Friday of week 2. Where I can get further ahead than that, I will release it a little bit early, but if you have any concerns about seeing content in advance, please just email me and I'll make sure that you get it in the time that you need for it to be useful or accessible to you. So yeah, lecture content being done asynchronously, so that's in your own time. And what that will be is one of 2 formats. You will have either a fact file, a sample clip, and then an element of musicals on screen to think about, or just the first 2, a fact file and a sample song to work through. And if you look on Moodle, I'll ping it up now. I've been doing, goodness. Ping it up, you'll be able to see a teaching overview of everything we're going to cover. That's also linked in that top box on Moodle, so you can download it. It's an image file, so you can save it onto your phones, whatever is most accessible and useful for you. So that's 1, lecture content. 2, seminars. So for the beginning of term, who knows where we're going to be, but for the beginning of term, that will be done in person in the Arts Lecture Theatre from 9 o'clock to 9:40. So these sessions have been shrunk to give time for all the cleaning and everything that needs to happen to make sure that we're all safe. As you'll see from the teaching graphic that just pinged up, these are going to be focused around key questions. So what makes a good film review, or was Mary Poppins a feminist, those kind of things. So there'll be discussion led. For some weeks we will be focusing on set reading, on other weeks these will just be cold discussions, and what will happen is I will record those on Echo 360 for anyone who's ill or shielding or anything. And then they'll be uploaded, so you will have access to exactly the same content. 3, screenings. So I think it's really important to get to know some of these film musicals. You may never have seen any of them before, only a couple of them before. Sorry, the sun has just come out. And I want to give you the option to see them. So you'll see that there are 7 films that are available through the university streaming service called Box of Broadcasts. It's worth saying that these films are recorded from television, like that's how the licensing works. So there are sometimes ad breaks and those kind of things in them, but it gives you a really good sense of what the films are like. There are also going to be copies of The Greatest Showman, hopefully Stormy Weather, Mary Poppins Returns, and the remake of The Lion King, the 2019 version, going into the music library as soon as they've been bought. So obviously those aren't on free streaming services. You'll see as well that I have uploaded a document of film musicals you can watch on different streaming services. So if you have Netflix or Amazon Prime or Disney Plus, I've given you some suggestions for things you might want to watch if you want to get immersed, okay? So those screenings have a timetable time. You can choose whether to watch them at that point or in your own time, and then upload a little review. And when I say a little review, it can be 2 or 3 sentences, or it can be a whole paragraph depending on how much you have to say. And we'll all do that. I'm going to do it too, and that will be done on our team, which should be appearing on the screen. Now, 4 is the discussion element. So I'm really aware that this is a lot of screen work, it's a lot of time just listening to sort of static content. So I am going to suggest that we have a conversation every week. So that's going to be in our lecture time at 10 o'clock, so not too early a start, at 10 o'clock, and we'll have a discussion about the film, and that'll also be an opportunity for you to ask any questions about the lecture content or about what you're working on at the moment. So that's really an opportunity. I will basically open a meeting in our team on Teams. In our team, we're going to get used to this language, and I will expect you all to join me. That will be registered, but it is you don't have to come to every week, but I do hope to see you as many as we can. As you'll see, I thinned down the content a little bit closer to deadline times. There's no seminar in week 12, and that is just going to be fun content for you to enjoy. So that's basically the teaching format. I've hopefully edited in a few screenshots of what the digital format is going to look like, so you can see what you're going to be working with. And then if you have any specific questions, please get in touch. For this week, I will be on Teams, so you can see, so we can have a conversation. So for Wednesday of week 2, I'm going to open Teams specifically to give you a run through how the module works, to talk about the assessments and that kind of thing. But this is just to give you an overview. The assessment briefs are on Moodle, they're in the module handbook. You can also write to me if anything is unclear, but this is just to give you a sense of how it's going to run, what we're going to be doing, and what I expect of you and what you should expect from me. I'm really looking forward to interacting with you, and see you all very soon. Bye.